Okay, date number 3 today. We're going to meet at the zoo. It's Riverbanks Zoo and Gardens. And I'm about to leave here in 10 minutes. I was just keeping myself busy today. I woke up earlier than I normally did. I think I have a little anxiety. I'm a little nervous about this one because his emails were really cute. And so we'll see if he's just as cute in person. Car. We were supposed to meet at 3 o'clock and it's 2:56 right now. I got here about 15 minutes early, and so I just thought I would sit in my car and wait and see if I would see him walk up. The problem is he told me he was going to meet me at the entrance, and I don't know if there's more than one entrance to the zoo. Because when I pulled in to a parking lot, it said I was in the red parking lot, which makes me feel like there's other parking lots, which makes me feel like there's other entrances. So I don't know which one is the main entrance. This is when it would help if I had been to the zoo before. So here I am constantly looking back and forth. Oh my gosh, I saw him. Okay, tell him. Oh crap, my hand. Let's switch spots.
Wait that out.
Okay. Tell him where we're at.
Hey, this is David. We're at the Riverbanks Zoo and Garden. Here with Elisa.
No. Okay, guess what? We've already videotaped. This is our 3rd time. He keeps messing up.
Hey. So this is David. We're at the Riverbanks Zoo and Garden, and just having a wonderful time here with her. And we're watching the train go by.
Oh, we're videotaping when the train is making all the noise. This is a bad time. This should be our 3rd take. It's not working out.
It's okay.
And before, we were going to show you the goats. Did we ever see any goats?
There's 2 adult goats, no baby goats.
Okay. I was saying I wanted you guys to see the gorillas, but I guess you don't really care about seeing the animals as much as me on a date. Do you have anything else to say before I shut it off?
Nope.
Okay, so this is my first second date. Well, not second date forever in my life, but second date out of these 30 dates. This is date 9, which is also the same as date 3. And I'm about to head to his town. He lives about 2 hours away. So I'm leaving now to go 2 hours and then spend a little bit of the afternoon with him. And we'll go out to dinner, and from there we'll see what happens. Well, what have we done so far? Tell them about everything. Here.
Oh, tour the house?
Yep, and then we did the project work.
Right. And then we went to eat. It was excellent.
And then we came back here.
Yep, to finish the project.
Yep.
Which is going to take us all night.
Yeah. So this is our lame date.
Yeah, very exciting. But I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I don't think it's lame. It's like categorized as lame because of what we're doing. So if we tell people we're doing homework, it's lame. But I'd rather do this than run a marathon. Sunday morning, I was going out to eat with one of my friends. So I went to go near my purse and to get my keys out of my purse. And I found this card. Actually, it was in an envelope with my name on it. I just wanted to share with you. In it, he put that he wanted to share his prayer for me in my 30 dates. And he said, I will always be your biggest fan, no matter what happens between us. Then he goes on and he writes a little prayer that says, for God to give me wisdom and discernment in order to seek truth and sincerity in the guys' words and actions. He said, grant her confidence in knowing who you have deemed worthy of her love, and offer her your complete peace after she makes each decision, after each date. And then at the end he says, let her feel your love for her, meaning God's love for me, your grace and your mercy through this process as you reassure her of how beautiful she is, not only to you, Lord, but to everyone who is blessed to have ever met her. In Christ's name, amen. And then at the top he said, P.S. I am sure I absolutely loved spending today with you. Hope you had a great time as well. So this is date number 4 with the same guy. It's actually date number 14. So that means I've gone on dates with 11 different guys because this is David and this is his date 4. I don't even remember the last time I've been on a 4th date. So just as always, when I hang out with him, I'm a little anxious because I always just get nervous what I'm going to think when we first see each other again. He's coming to my house this time, and then I don't know what we're going to do because it's kind of cloudy out. I was going to go to like the park or something, but we'll probably eventually go to dinner like always, and I'll just show him around here a little bit. Okay, we're sitting at Gibson Park. What else?
We just got some bowl peanuts. So we came to the park to sit and eat them.
It looks like it's winter out with us in our bundled up jackets.
It is winter down here.
He doesn't eat boiled peanuts very much, and it's like a very big treat for me. So we went and got boiled peanuts, and then we went to Starbucks.
Yeah, I love these peanuts. What happened before, there were red peanuts, and there were, I don't know,
And these
smaller,
are the jumbo white.
Yeah, big white ones. These are pretty
My
good.
favorite.
Yeah.
And so we're just hanging out here, trying to keep warm. And then I said, well, time to videotape. And he said, what are we going to talk about?
Bowl peanuts. With a squeaky swing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Can we see that we're on a swing? All right, goodbye. Okay. Hello. Get you in it, too.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so we just played Sequence. We were kind of cold at the park, so we came back to my house. And we played a game called Sequence. And showed on the board. I'm green, he is red. And I won 5 in a row and 5 in a row.
I did not win. I'm sad. I don't know the name of the place.
It's called the River Walk.
That's where we're at.
This is the same place we came on our first date. How many? 6 months ago?
6 months, 2 days ago.
6 months and 2 days. It's crazy to
Yeah.
think about.
Who would have thought?
I know. And this time it's sunny because last time we came and it was dark. Except it was way nicer weather and I had shorts on.
Yeah, we got bit.
I got mosquito bites all over my legs.
I got eat.
Sideways. So, I am heading to his house. I am an hour away and I am just thanking the Lord that I feel so calm and peaceful and like this is the right decision to just catch up. I know it seems like there's really probably not a point to it, but I think it brings a little bit of excitement to my weekend and to his weekend, and so why not? I'm not sure.
This is the pre-check. Oh, closer up.
I know it zooms in just a teeny bit.
Which is probably good because we're going to sit back.
Okay.
Anyway. No doubt.
Okay, yeah, now we do teeth check. I have something down here, but that's been there for about 7 hours. I noticed it on my way here.
Saving up for the ride home?
I was going to ask you for floss, and I never did.
Okay, mine good?
Yeah.
Lipstick good?
I should have put my gloss on.
What do you have on your bottom? There's something there.
I know, it's been there since lunch.
I got toothpicks.
I don't need one. You haven't noticed it at this point. Okay, you need to talk a little louder, okay?
What?
Look at our skin color. Difference.
It's crazy. I'm all washed out over here.
I wonder if I should sit there because of the light shining on you.
Probably. Okay.
You can't put your arms on me though,
Why?
because we're not together.
Oh.
What if my future husband watches this?
It's comfortable that way. Just put me over here. How you doing?
Okay.
Over here.
Okay. So
Are we starting?
yeah. Okay.
Are you gonna cut
So
the-
basically, let's tell our story. We went on a date.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah,
We
like
didn't
I
talk about
met
it.
you online, and then we met in person. We talked a long time before, back and forth emails, and then in person. And I was shocked how beautiful you were in person, way more than your pictures were, and that was the first thing I noticed.
So we entered into a relationship, right?
Eventually,
After several dates.
yes.
But I felt like then it made you know that you were confident in making the decision, right?
Correct.
Although it was actually me that had to catch up to you
Yeah, I was pretty head over heels in the beginning.
quickly, and I wasn't. Just because dating was new to me, getting
Right.
into a relationship, it was my first relationship. So I really needed those probably like good 6 months, 5 months of going out on dates before I like considered us official.
Right. And it was 18 really good months. for
It
both of us.
was. And that's what I tell everybody is it was my only experience of being in a relationship. However, it was just a really good relationship. We never fought. Is there anything else we need to talk about, or should we fast forward to
Sure.
February?
Okay.
So we had a date on Valentine's Day. And then I knew that I wasn't going to see him for 3 weeks because I was in grad school and I was finishing up all my assignments.
Yeah,
And
I
I needed
mean, that's pretty much it. And so for me, it was right 2 days before my birthday. And
Yeah, so I finished everything with grad school. We had a weekend planned.
Mhm.
And it was his birthday weekend. We were going to go to
Greenville.
Greenville. So that week, you said, right, is when you felt like, you tell me.
Yeah. So for me, and just me personally, my birthday is like a horrible time. I just hate it every year, and the week leading up to it is a lot of introspective thought and probably a little too much. And yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm getting older, and I don't know if I'm really, sure about this, and I wasn't sure, if, wanted it long term. And I was praying about it. I was like, that was killing me that week, because I was praying about it and asking God for clarity, and yeah, it was a very tough decision. And I felt, at that point, I was like, for right now, I've got to let you go until I'm in a position to be the person that you want me to be or need me to be. So it was a very tough decision. It was heartbreaking, and I broke down and cried before I called you, and I didn't know what to say to you. I was just like, this is so tough for me, and yeah, I called you, and
I felt it coming because
Yeah.
he was not his normal self, and normally he sends very sweet texts. But those were missing that week.
yes,
So I kind of felt it coming. So when he said we need to talk, I was like, okay. I remember as soon as he said hello or whatever, first thing he said, I heard it in his voice. So my whole stomach dropped, and then he said, I think I need to let you go. And then I basically started just asking you questions. I asked like when he knew, and he said that week.
hmm
How did that conversation end? Because I remember thinking I didn't want to hang up the phone because I knew when I did, I
Right.
probably would never talk to you again. So I remember just wanting to like ask questions and get as much processed at the time before letting my emotions take over. But then I think I ran out of questions, and then I started to cry. You said something like you really wanted to make it work, but you just felt like the Lord was saying no or leading you somewhere else. But you told me that I would make a good wife one day.
I do strongly believe that.
Weeks and months and even now years later, I still think about that statement that you said.
And I back that up because the reason I made that statement was dating you, you were calm, in every situation. Nothing. There's things that happen to us, and we're like, you could have been like, oh wow, I can't believe this happened, but you were just calm and yeah, we'll get through it. It's no big deal, and you're very forgiving. If I did something accidentally, you wouldn't get upset about it. You go, oh, that's okay. So you're very forgiving and very calm, and those are two great qualities for me, from what I've seen for a wife.
And that made me feel very good that he noticed that. And so I do remember feeling like in that instance, while my heart was breaking, trying to like put myself into his shoes and what he was going through, and knowing that we had such a good relationship that I'm sure it had been so hard for him to come to that decision and then have to tell me. So I remember saying something like, this could not have been an easy decision for you.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Or did I text that?
I think you said that on the phone, and that's when another thing I was like, man, she is gonna make a tremendous wife, because she understood that. She wasn't mad, like you weren't like angry at me. Like I was totally expecting you to be angry, and you weren't. You were just, I mean, obviously hurt, and probably a little confused, and you were asking questions, and yeah, but you weren't yelling at me. You weren't like saying, calling me names or anything like that. You know.
How'd you experience?
I just admired you. I thought so much more of you after that conversation than I did before.
Wow. And I can't say that I admired him that night because, like I said, my heart was breaking. But when I healed, the more that I came out on the healing end, thinking back to that, I admire you so much in the sense that you made a hard decision like that because you felt the Lord leading you that way. And at that point, you were almost putting your emotions aside and your selfish desires aside to say, I'm going to give you up because I can't give you what you want, which is a husband. So I'm going to give you up for somebody that can provide you with that. And that's just a very selfless thing, because you could have dated me for another 4 years.
Yeah. And part of me wanted to. And that was the very tough part. Because exactly what you said, I gave you up because I felt that I wasn't who you were supposed to be with right now. And it was tough because I adored her. Like, it was so tough. Like, it didn't affect me. And looking back, it took me some time to process after the breakup of that. And I thought about those moments, and I was like, there's times where I've gone out with a girl and she has like a weird eyelash or something. I'm like, oh, well, but with you.
Weird eyelash?
I don't know, I just made something up. But with you, like, I saw you at your worst, and it didn't affect me. And but it took so long to get there. It wasn't like in the first 3 months that happened, but in the end, after a year and a half of knowing you, I was like, man, I just genuinely adore you. I love you for who you are. And it wasn't because you're a certain whatever, it's just because the person you were. And for me personally, I'd never dated someone long enough to reach that point where I was just like, I really knew who they were and I really appreciated who they were. It was still very superficial in most of my past relationships. So that was the best thing I got out of our relationship, was just getting past the superficial phase and really caring about who you were in every form and fashion. I really cared about you.
So after we broke up, somehow we started communicating again in October. Oh, you sent me a letter.
I sent you a letter. Yeah. I think it was the anniversary of our first date. I sent you a letter. Just kind of saying, hey, I hope you're doing well. It's been about 6 months since we last talked. And
he was like, I wanted to give you 6 months to heal before I reached out to you again, which is one thing that I feel like is very respectful. Like, I feel like after a breakup happens, even though the person that breaks up with the other person is so sure at the time, weeks or days or months go by, and then all of a sudden you realize the loneliness that comes with the breakup. So it would have been very easy for you to call me up.
Yeah, and you have no idea how many times I wanted to, but I didn't because I knew it wasn't the right thing to do. And it was hard. It was lonely. It was just very tough to get through that time. And every week got better, but still it took a long time. And still, even when I wrote that letter, I was still...
Because I think you even said in that letter that you missed me more then than you had when you first broke up with me.
Yeah, when I first broke up, it was kind of like somewhat of a relief in that it was over, and really the relief part was that I had hurt you as much as I was going to hurt you, and then that part was over. And then from this point forward, you can heal. But it was tough because I really missed you, and we had a great relationship, and we had no bad times. Like there was.
So then we ended up, I came to visit you in October.
Yep, October 1st.
Because you wrote the letter in September. And we kind of would text every like 2 weeks or a week or two. And then January came, and first of all, the winter is always hard for me, just being winter. So I just remember having a hard time getting over sadness. And so I reached out to him and just asked him very nicely and politely not to contact me anymore in January. Because I realized I wasn't fully healed, because seeing him brought up all those emotions.
Yeah, and it was probably a good thing for both of us, because even I was starting to lean back on her, and I wasn't fair to her because we weren't together. And we sent me the email, and I think we both did the same thing where at the very end we kind of rambled, because like, this is the last time. We're going to email for a long time, and I just went into some rambling on my own. Some of it made sense, some of it didn't when I read it later, but I just didn't want to end it. I just wanted to keep the email going.
Because I was thinking that was the last time we were going to ever talk, although he said, please reach out to me when you're healed. And you said something like, I just know in my heart or something that this is not the last time that we'll ever talk.
Right.
Like, I knew his heart and his character. And so that helped me, like, in my mind, not look at you as the bad person. I actually felt like, after I experienced a little bit more healing, like I said, I respected you more for following through with a really hard decision.
Right. And I've been the jerk in the past, and so with you, I wasn't. And I was, like, we had such a great relationship, and a lot of that is because we put Christ at center. Like, we were very good together, like, and we were very honest with each other in that regard. And so, yeah, I treated her so well because another thing great about you is I treated you so well because you demanded that. Like, you wouldn't allow someone to treat you badly. Whereas a lot of women, I think they fall into that. They're like, I don't deserve anybody. And they'll lower their standard. And the guy will treat them to that standard a lot of times.
That's very interesting. I've never heard that. I mean, I've heard that concept, but thank you for saying that.
I'll just add that I really adore your parents. And I just think the world of them. They were just so great to me. They welcomed me in, and every time I got to spend time with them, it was a great experience. And really, your dad is, I think, is like the superhero. He's like the greatest guy in the world. Never met anybody like him before. So he was an inspiration to me, and in how he serves your mom. And it's just they're great role models for you, and it shows in how you are the person you are today. Is because of them.
Yeah, I do agree. And what's also so nice, I mean, I'm their little girl, but when he broke up with me, it's like my mom said the same thing I said, is I have more respect for him now than I ever did, because him being willing to listen to the Lord and follow through with a tough decision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that really helped me, because I saw her, I mean, she wasn't going through the heartbreak, so I still had to go through the heartbreak and cry many, many nights, but I think that's healthy, because if I didn't cry or I didn't act like it affected me, then it's like, did those 18 months mean anything? So now leading up to today, so random, like I wasn't like planning on, I'm going to write you a email. I was just in my classroom and a lot of memories started surfacing, and I actually deleted your phone number. So anytime I had the urge to text him, I couldn't. But the email was still in my email, so all I had to do was search his name, and I got his email. So I sent him an email on like Wednesday or Thursday or something, and saying I was thinking about him, and he responded. Were you very shocked?
I was. It's funny because I was shocked, but I've been thinking about you a lot the last few weeks, and so I wasn't shocked.
Interesting.
That I heard from you, because you've been on my mind for the last few weeks.
So his response back was like, it was great to hear from you. And he said something like, I know that seeing me again might cause you emotional stress, but please know that I'm here waiting anytime you want to see me again, or something along the lines. And I remember thinking, I don't think it would cause me emotional stress, which is that showed how healed I was. And then I emailed back and said, hey, I have absolutely no plans this weekend. So, because I feel like seeing each other, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, would bring, like, this is going to be my highlight of the weekend. Thank you so much for being willing to basically put yourself out there to whoever ends up watching this one day.
You're welcome. Anything for you.
Okay, goodbye.